Alright, y'all, once you get into your headset, you may see an environment like this or somewhere else that's similar, like a desert or something else. But the main thing is that you have this bar right here. This is your dock, and you can grab it and move it around wherever you need to, but for right now, probably won't mean much to you. If it's not showing up, there's a little Oculus button that's on your right controller. It's going to be underneath the B and the A buttons that you see there, and it's going to bring up your dock if you don't see it already. Over here to the right side, you'll see your app library that'll pop up, but you may see the app that we're looking for called Wonder right down here in the dock. But if you don't, it's also up here in your app library. Let's go ahead and go to Wonder. Just point your controller at it, pull the trigger, and you'll go into your app. We're going to let Wonder load up. Wonder has a large number of scans from things like Google Street View, but then also personal scans, like what you'll find from museums and things like that. So first thing we want to do, you'll drop into a random space inside of Wonder. It'll probably give you this tips setup right here. It's not a bad way to get acquainted with everything. We're going to go ahead and hit continue as we go through this. What it's showing here is pointing at your left controller. If you bring up your left controller and tilt it back towards yourself, you'll be able to see a map. Looks like right now we're somewhere in Austria. Looking up here, probably at the Alps. And then if you want to see anything else, you can do a voice search. You can get information. Oh, we're in Switzerland. That's good. We don't have any previous locations we're going to. We can see nearby places. Go to just a random place. We can also decide to go back in time if that scan has things that go back in time. And if they have ambient audio that they recorded at the time, that'll be available as well. So that's your menu there. Let's go ahead and hit continue. If you want to bring up the dock, that's going to be with the B button right here on your right controller, or the Y button that also is going to be kind of obfuscated as you bring up this menu. So either one of these will bring up that map that you see there. Okay, wherever you look, that's where it's going to show up. So if you're looking at something over here and you don't want the menu to show up right in front of you, you can just turn over this way, turn it on, and then you can just kind of go back and forth. Okay. As far as the other options here, you'll get used to those without any real issues. The main thing we want to look at is how to open and close this map. Okay, as I said before, you're going to use either the B button on your right controller or the Y button on your other controller, on your left controller, and then we'll start looking around. The first task that you all will need to do is get yourself to the British Museum. I'll show you how to do that now. We know that the British Museum is probably, I'm going to use the trigger on this controller to grab the map and move around, and then I can zoom in, and I could try and find it on my own. Here's the United Kingdom, here's Ireland, let's see, Scotland, so we're probably looking more down somewhere here in England, in this area, probably in London. But to make it even easier, we'll go up here to the location, and we're going to type in British Museum, Great Russell Street, London, UK. You'll notice there's a few other ones here as well. The one we're going to be looking for is right here. Okay, so as soon as we do that, we select it, you'll notice right here we see the map and the British Museum. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the map, and you can stand in the lobby of the British Museum. Alright, now if you'd like, you can use these arrows to move around. You can also just click in certain spots and you can get up close to things, much like you do with Street View and Google. Okay, so this is the lobby of the British Museum. The thing is that we want to get to a specific part of the British Museum, so let's hit B again on your right controller. We're going to zoom in again. All these blue spaces around the British Museum were scanned by individuals going into the British Museum, so these are all private scans, and Wonder is able to incorporate these as well. Specifically, the area we want to go to is the Egyptian area. Okay, this is where we're going to start off. And here we can see Assyria. We see the Parthenon, some Greek and Roman historical pieces in here, but we're looking for Egypt. So Egypt will be along here where we see a lot of this Assyrian. Let's see, I need to also you can move this around if you pull the grip button, which will be the middle button on the side of the controller. You can move this around if you need to. And I want to just go into some place on here where I can find those Egyptian antiquities. Actually, there's a North American one up here as well as Mexico, and there's other places to look. So we want to just find the closest place to the Egyptian setup, and we'll want to click on a blue line. All of these blue lines indicate where a scan has been done. So let's just start off right here with Assyria, and then we want to find our way over to the Egyptian area. We'll probably find it pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and click, let's see, here's the cafe and the room. I'm just going to click right here where it says Assyrian Nineveh number 9. I'm just going to click in that space with the trigger, and now we're there inside of the antiquities area of the British Museum. We can see the Greeks and Italy over that way, and we can also see that there is probably some more Greek and Italian things those way. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more, see if we can get a little bit better. Aha, here's Egyptian sculpture right there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that right in the blue line. That'll get me to the Egyptian area, and let's look around. Here are some Egyptian antiquities. Let's see here. Let's find out if we're actually in the right spot. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see. Some of this actually looks maybe Greek, but we'll be able to go through here. Etruscan temple architecture and find out. Let's see. That's Etruscan world. Ancient Cyprus. I think that's going to be getting us. Here's a good thing to know. If you see this big circle popping up in front of you, to get through that, you just want to put the little beam that's coming out of your controller right on one of these arrows, and that'll drag you into that new space. Okay, so Ancient Cyprus, this is getting into some spaces here where we're going to find some objects that we've been looking for. Now, I don't want to drop you all right in the middle of where you're supposed to be, because I think it'll be very interesting to find these artifacts in this museum, and to come across how large and impressive these things really are. So, if you want to, you can go back to your map. Remember, just hit B, and that will pop the map up for you. Let's try it here. And also remember Y can do that for you. If you're having some issues and it's not coming up, it's okay. Remember, you can also look here on your map on your left hand. If you just tilt it up towards yourself, you can see where you're at. And I can click on new things here and even drag this around a little bit if I want. And let's see, Assyria, Nineveh, Court Cafe. Aha, there's the Egyptian sculptures again. So I'm just going to go right back into this little spot right there. Just left click with, oh, I think I've given away some of my surprises I was hoping to show y'all. But here we are. And also, the map showed up behind me. So if for some reason you're clicking out here and you don't see the map, it's entirely possible whenever I moved it with that middle grip button, it may have just decided to lock there. So if I get rid of that, I look over here, I hit my button, I don't see it. Ah, well, it's over here because I actually positioned it where I wanted it. Okay. All right. One last thing before we go anywhere. To join into a group, if we happen to be using a tour group, we'll go into social. My name is Tyron, and then you'll have other people inside of your with the CIA headsets that will be all named after Greek gods. So you'll be meeting up with Artemis and Athena and Hephaestus and Hades, and we'll bring all of them together. We'll create a room, and I may be taking you through these spaces. But you'll want to end up here in the Egyptian space, and this is where I'm going to leave you and have you look around a little bit. Okay? Well, I hope you enjoy your time exploring this space, maybe a few others, and we'll see how this goes.